My people, did you know that your heart beats 115,000 times per day on average? Ain't that cool? You know what else is cool? You hitting that like button right down there. I'd very much appreciate that. And also, check out dnkknives.com. And if you purchase something from DNK, you can use this coupon code Behind the Edge 10 to find yourself receiving 10% off the total of your order. Make sure you like, subscribe. There's a link to DNK in the description, and there will also be one for Patreon if you would like to support the channel. That would be very much appreciated, but not a must. Today, we're going to talk about Spyderco fixed blade. It is made in Taichung, Taiwan, and Taichung is Spyderco's factory that basically their higher end stuff comes out of there. I like their Taichung models. Taiwan makes some excellent knives, and there's lots and lots of brands made there in that same general area. This is the Bradley Bowie. Sadly, this knife is discontinued. It is designed by Gail Bradley, who designed the Junction, the Advocate, and the Gail Bradley 1 and 2 that Spyderco makes. This is 5 1/8 inch blade made from PSF 27, which is a carpenter spray form steel. Spray form is a little different than the powder steel, like a CPM process. This is CPM 20 CV. It's a little different than that, but similar attributes in the final product. PSF 27, not a lot of companies use it. It's typically something you see in a custom knife, but Strider uses it here and there, and it's been called like a Super D2 with properties similar to CPM D2. But in my opinion, and other people that I've seen test it, in their opinion, it's marginally better than CPM D2. I can't say that for 100% sure, but you know, from my experience, it's a little better. Like I said, this is a discontinued model, and it was kind of expensive, as are all of the Spyderco premium fixed blades. They tend to be quite expensive, and I'm not sure why, but this guy here was roughly $300. Really digging this knife. The ergos are flat amazing. This G10 is polished and smooth, and it is gorgeous, and it feels great. The grind and the geometry makes the blade optimal basically for general medium duty use. Wouldn't say it's great as a survival knife. Excuse me, sorry about that. In my opinion, it's because it has relatively thin stock. It is not super thin, but it's not crazy thick either. Be great stock for hunting, skinning, stuff like that, or like I said, just a general camp knife situation. That high flat grind or full flat grind to me isn't optimal for wood processing and just, you know, bushcraft style stuff in general. But it would work in a pinch for sure. The knife came extremely sharp. I found this at a brick and mortar store close to my house, and I saw it, and they're just not available anywhere that I've seen. So I smoked my credit card to get it. Couldn't afford it, but we did it anyway. So there's that. I have been EDCing this for the past couple days. It is kind of big for an EDC. Been carrying a scout carry. It comes with a G-clip, which is not my favorite. I'll explain why here in a second. But the sheath is awesome. It has fantastic retention. It has a little bit of rattle. Actually, now it doesn't. Well, it did. Little bit of rattle, not too bad. Retention's excellent. The G-clip isn't my favorite because I like to carry everything scout carry. And unless your belt is super thick, it's going to move, you know, side to side because there's still room in there once you slide your belt through. It would probably be okay if you had an operator style belt, but I just use a regular leather belt that I've been wearing for 20 years. That is no exaggeration. So it moves a little bit. So I'm probably going to replace this with a tech lock, a small tech lock, and then I'm sure it'll be fine. We do have our drainage hole here, and that is an absolute must because this is a tool steel and it will rust if it is allowed to stay wet and get wet. It's not exactly like K390 or your standard tool steels. It's a little more rust resistant than that, but it will absolutely rust. It is not stainless. Handle. Back to that. It's not real wide. I'm going to say it is about 5/8 inch thick. So it's not like I prefer a thicker, rounder handle. It is typically more comfortable for long period use, but I've used the crap out of this past few days and it feels good. The choke up is absolutely amazing, but it's kind of small. You might want to be careful there if you have one of these. This knife is a little bigger than the Junction. The Junction kind of looks very, very similar. I'd like to get a hold of one of those too because it's just a little smaller and be better for EDC. But my plan with this knife is just for it to be my general camp use knife. We go camping 5-6 times every summer. I use the crap out of my Mora knife. This is much, much better than a Mora knife, so I'm going to use this. And I will absolutely do follow-up videos and just general videos of putting this knife to work. I do have a stainless fixed blade that I use for fishing and stuff like that, and I'm looking to find a stainless EDC fixed blade, because this one, if I carry it every day and I sweat and all that good stuff, it's absolutely gonna be an issue. I do oil my blades and I typically don't give a shit about rust and stuff like that, but I want to take care of this the best I can, so I will keep it oiled up. I'll give y'all a update video in about a month on this to let you know how it's doing. I'm sorry I can't link this knife. I have not been able to find it anywhere or the Junction, and I would really like to get a hold of the Junction, but that's all I got for y'all tonight. Just wanted to show this bad beast off. It came crazy sharp. I am going to put my edge on it, and I'm going to lay the edge back to probably roughly 18 degrees. I want to put a really acute angle on it. I want to see how this PSF 27 can handle that, because I'm not going to be doing any wood processing or anything like that with this knife anyway. So I think it'll do just fine. It does have your 90-degree spine up here, so you can strike a ferro rod with it, and it's very sharp right there. So up here near the swedge, you cannot really get a good strike on it, but back here towards your flat, you absolutely could. Let me know in the comments if any of you guys have experience with this knife and how do you like it. That's all I got. Make sure you like, subscribe. I'll be doing a giveaway probably this weekend for Patreon and for the regular channel. So be on the lookout for that, and that'll be it. Make sure you are super nice to your fellow Americans, and make sure that you are not a piece of shit, because nobody likes a douchebag. Later.